Hey guys, it's JaaackJack and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have sort of a story time to share with you guys on how I got my second job as a social media manager for a brand called True and Noble Apparel. And I'm really excited to share this video with you guys because not only is it just like a fun story time, but also we're talking about work and stuff like that, but I think this story really goes to show how good God is and how He listens to every little whisper that comes out of our mouth. So I hope you guys enjoy this story time video, and if you have any questions or if you'd like to see any future videos relating to my job as a social media manager, then be sure to let me know in the comments. And without further ado, let's jump into this story time video. So I think this story, we should first start when I first found and came across True and Noble Apparel. So I was actually on Instagram and I was searching the hashtag Christian clothing or Christian apparel, something like that, because I wanted to wear more faith-based clothing, but I wanted to find something that, you know, fit my style and was cute but still shared a positive message. So I was searching different brands, and then I came across True and Noble Apparel, and I'm like, wow, super cute clothing. So I reached out to them and they wanted to work with me, so we did a collaboration, I think on an Instagram post and a few Insta stories, and we were just working like that, from creator and brand collaborating like that. And I think that was back when I had orange hair, so that might have been 2018. And then in 2019, I believe, they had reached out to me and they were like, hey, we're doing a photo shoot this Saturday, wanted to come and join us. And I was like, wait, you guys are local? You guys are in San Diego? Like, I had no idea you guys were San Diego based when I first came across your page. Like, that was a total surprise. So I was stoked to go and join them for this photo shoot, be a part of their Instagram, modeling their clothing. And I also got to meet April, who is the founder and owner of True and Noble Apparel. So it was so awesome to meet her. And then we just continued to keep in touch after that, and she continued to invite me to these photo shoots, right? And 2019 is when I started planning Beauty Under His Eyes, and that is the beauty seminar that I did at my church. And you know, we talk about makeup, we do hair and stuff while still sharing a positive message about true beauty under God's eyes. So I absolutely love that event, but I wanted there to be vendors or booths and tables so people could shop around in the lobby area of the church. And so I had reached out to True and Noble Apparel to see if they wanted to set up a table and sell their merch there. And she was so down and she was so excited to be a part of this event. So you can see from the photo shoots and working with her for Beauty Under His Eyes, you can see our relationship was establishing and growing. So that was all happening, and Beauty Under His Eyes was towards the end of 2019. I think it was in October. So that was all going on, but let me back up to the beginning of 2019. Actually, exactly a year ago in March, my dog Zoe, if you don't know Zoe's story already, she is a very special dog. She's a handicapped dog who is paralyzed from the waist down, and she just requires a lot of attention and need. So she's already a big priority in my life. But sometime in March, she got really sick and was throwing up constantly, and it was almost every 10 minutes she would throw up. Every 5 minutes she would throw up, and I was freaking out. So after about I would say an hour of this consistently happening, she was just throwing up. I'm like, what is going on? I took her to the emergency room, and they basically said she must have gotten into some stuff, which looking back, she got into the trash can in the bathroom. But she must have gotten into some stuff because her intestines are completely blocked, and your choice is to either do emergency surgery immediately, or we're gonna put her to sleep. Those were my only two options, and the surgery cost $10,000, you guys. And I was like, where do you want me to get that money? I cannot just pull that money out my butt. I don't have that. So I was in total panic. I didn't know what to do. I just started praying and praying and praying. And then they had referred me to another place that was significantly cheaper. It was still over $5,000, but I mean, that's half the price of what it was originally at this other vet place. And I just want to make one thing clear is, yes, I do YouTube full-time. This is what I do for a living. I make videos and I work with brands on sponsored content and things like that. So I do have money coming in, but this emergency surgery for Zoe just literally came out of nowhere, and I wasn't financially prepared for this. So in this whole moment of panic and you know, just doing whatever I could to take care of Zoe, I ended up getting a second job working at a sandwich shop. And so I was doing that as much as I could. It is hard for me to be out of the house for so long because Zoe already, without even this surgery, Zoe already is a very needy dog that needs my attention throughout the day. So it was quite a challenge to go off and work and still take care of her at the same time while still managing my YouTube stuff. But that's what I was doing, and so I was doing that for several months. And I remember there was one day where I was driving home from my shift at the sandwich shop, and I was just talking to God, as I like to do when I'm driving in my car, and I was thanking him for this opportunity to work at a sandwich shop, to just get this extra income to go towards Zoe's medical bills. And I was so thankful, and I'm like, this job is really easy, so I'm not like complaining at all, like this is awesome. But wouldn't it just be so awesome, God, if my second job or if what I did could glorify you or be related to you? And I was just talking like that, and when I was saying it, I was more so thinking like, if there ever was a position in a church that I could be paid for, like that would be so amazing. But God had something else planned for me, and I'm not even kidding you guys. I drove home, and that same night I received a text message from April from True and Noble Apparel asking me to be the social media manager for her brand. She reached out to me and she's like, I don't know if this is like gonna be a weird question or not, or if like you already have too much on your plate, but would you be interested in being the social media manager? And I reached out to her and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is such a God moment. Like this is what I was praying for. This is exactly what I was praying for. And we met up for coffee to talk details and all that kind of stuff. And she told me she was trying to find someone to help her with the social account, and I just kept popping up in her head. Like my name was just popping up in her head constantly. She's like, okay, I think I really do need to ask Jackie then. And that's just, I just think it's so beautiful how God works, you know? So I started working as a social media manager for True and Noble Apparel immediately after Beauty Under His Eyes, which was October. From March to October, no, actually March to December, I was working at this sandwich shop. But it was in October when I was driving home from the sandwich shop and I said that little prayer, and it wasn't even loud and it wasn't even like a bold prayer. It was just kind of like a little whisper, like, wouldn't that just be so cool, God, if I could work something in your name? Like it was just such a small whisper, but God heard it. Like God heard it. And this has just been such a blessing because I can work from home with this second job. So this money from the second job has been going towards paying off the rest of Zoe's medical bills, which were just so expensive. But I'm feeling so grateful to be doing this, and my experience as a YouTuber and influencer has definitely translated into working as the brand manager for True and Noble Apparel, because I already understood how to look at the insight, the analytics, to create a strategy that worked for the brand to help build the engagement and things like that. So it was just such a perfect fit for me. I ended up leaving the sandwich shop in December because it was definitely tough trying to balance 3 jobs: YouTube full-time, True and Noble, and then the sandwich shop. I was like, okay, you know what, the True and Noble is the blessing for me, so I'm going to gracefully say goodbye to the sandwich shop. And so I was only there for like, you know, not even a full year, but I was so appreciative of every moment there, and really grateful for that opportunity. So I know that's not like the most helpful kind of story, like if you're searching to work for a brand and be a social media manager for a brand, this probably wasn't the story to help you out there, because this really all was just God's perfect timing and placement of everything. If you guys want more information on what I do and how I plan and schedule things for True and Noble Apparel, I will leave a video linked in the cards that I did talking about like the scheduling app that I use and why it's important and why it's such a lifesaver to use that kind of an app for the work that I do. But working for this brand has been such a blessing because it is a Christian-based brand, and because of everything that I'm pouring into, like, you know, the captions and the posts and all that kind of stuff, and just planning and schedule things out for the social media page, it requires me to stay in God's word. It requires me to always continue feeding myself because I can't pour into this with an empty cup. So I love how it challenges me to always be finding God in every little thing that I do. And I just can't even express how perfect of a job this is for me, like how it lines up with who I am, and it just works out so perfectly for me and my situation. You know, working at home full-time doing YouTube videos, but also like taking care of Zoe, working another job, still being at home to continue taking care of her. Like, it's just such a blessing, and I can't state that enough how important it is to talk to God. I think overall that's what I want to share through this video, is that if you say you believe in God, you're a Christian, whatever it may be, but you have that faith, but what I want to encourage you is to just have those conversations with God. He knows what's on your heart, but he wants to hear you say it. So maybe the next time when you're driving home from work, maybe just have that conversation with God, or right before you go to bed, or first thing when you wake up in the morning, just have that like alone time to be able to talk to him. And I know people, sometimes the word prayer can intimidate people, but a quote that I heard is, prayer is just a fancy word for having a conversation with God. You don't need to make your prayers sound poetic or, you know, super formal or anything like that. Just, I mean, God already knows how you talk. He hears you, but he wants to hear you speaking to him. And so I hope this video encourages you to speak to God more and really put your trust and faith in him, because he hears you and he wants to take care of you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time video. I don't do story times often, so if you guys want another type of story time video, go ahead and leave your request in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
I love